There will be an empty seat amongst the Wisconsin Rapids wrestling crowd. The Rapids wrestling family has lost Bill Nicholson with his passing this past weekend. Bill and his wife Lois were a constant at the Rapids wrestling events, home and away. They never missed home meets and tournaments and would travel far and wide to support the Red Raider wrestlers. A long time ago, they were the parents of a couple of Rapids wrestlers, and their support and continued work never stopped after their son's graduation. At kids' meets, junior high meets, high school, and state competitions, you'd find Bill mopping floors, emptying garbage, sweeping floors, selling concessions, doing dishes, or anything else that was asked of them. There was never a no, or I don't want to do that. You could see Bill always keeping score wherever they were, he knew exactly what was going on and all the wrestlers by name. As a matter of fact, you could hear Bill cheering, "Come on, son, get a takedown. Come on, son, get an extra team point." He treated them like his extended family. With Bill and Lois Nicholson, Sue and Russ Lamb, and Joyce and Louie Bennett, that was the foundation beneath the Rapids mat backers. From proud supportive parents to loyal fans to willing to do work for the betterment of any Rapids wrestler and the program, we all could and should learn a huge lesson from Bill and Lois Nicholson. To Lois, the entire Nicholson family, we send our heartfelt condolences. Welcome, Wisconsin Rapids community media viewers and Lincoln High School Red Raider wrestling fans. Dual meet between Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders and DC Everest Evergreens. Draw weight's 113 pounds. The Red Raider Luke Hamill will lead it off. He'll take on Jaden Nix from the Evergreens. Matchup at 120. Michael Jelnick of DC Everest takes on your Red Raider Deegan Armagast. The matchup at 126 pounds. DC Everest will have a forfeit. Landon Freeman will receive the forfeit. At 132 pounds, Chris Dano from the Evergreens. He'll take on Aspen Tritz, your Red Raider. The matchup at 138 pounds. Number 2 ranked Carter Freeman steps on the mat for Lincoln High School against Josiah Beltran from the Evergreens. At 144 pounds, Aiden Armagast will wrestle Deacon Trotzer from the Evergreens. The matchup at 150 pounds, Blake Williams from DC Everest. He'll face off against Jack Ackerman, your Red Raider.
Wisconsin Rapids will be Jack Ackerman. And for DC Everest, Blake Williams.
Wrestling at 157 pounds, probably a feature match tonight. Carson Kemp from DC Everest Evergreens will take on Mason Tritz, your Red Raider. The match at 165 pounds, Gavin Madsen of the Evergreens will take on Jeremiah Peters from Wisconsin Rapids. 175-pound match looks like this. Blake Bengston of the Evergreens will take on Oakley Pluis from your Red Raiders. 190-pound matchup is Nico Kleinschmidt from the Evergreens. He'll take on Aiden Steinbrook from the Red Raiders. Matchup at 215 pounds, Aiden Zhang from the Evergreens. He'll face your 215-pounder, Kyler Tritz.
215 pounds, Kyler Tritz, Wisconsin Rapids. Aiden Zhang, DC Everest.
Tanner Gormanson, your Red Raider, at 285, number 2 ranked, takes on James DeBuer from the Evergreens. And then you go from the big to the little. Last match of the dual meet, 106 pounds. Riker Ryan from DC Everest Evergreens takes on Jackson Freeman, your Red Raider. Last year's dual meet score looked like this: Wisconsin Rapids 44, DC Everest 21. And the Red Raiders forfeited to the Evergreens twice, so that gave them 12 points. Evergreens only wrestled their way to 9 points on the scoreboard. Different year, different matchups. DC Everest is ranked 14th in the state right now. Marshfield is 11th. Your Red Raiders number 2 behind Kaukauna. Evergreens have 5 ranked wrestlers. Red Raiders have 5 ranked wrestlers. They don't necessarily match up by their rankings, but you're going to see Josiah Beltran and Carter Freeman go at it at 138. And you're going to see Mason Tritz and Carson Kemp go at it at 157, 2 feature matchups tonight. The Red Raiders sit atop of the Valley Conference tied with Marshfield at 4-0. DC Everest sits in third place with a 2-1 record. Wausau West with 2-3. Merrill's 1-3. Stevens Point 1-3, and Wausau East is 0-4. Tonight's dual meets: Marshfield is at Merrill, Wausau East at Stevens Point, and here you are watching on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. Your Red Raiders take on DC Everest. A couple of wrestlers advanced to the tables. Luke Hamill and Jaden Nix, and Nix has some type of an issue already, and he hasn't even stepped on the mat yet. Trainer's going to take a look at him. DC Everest beat Wausau West 42-35. And DC Everest lost to Marshfield 45-21. DC Everest has beaten Merrill 43-27. Wisconsin Rapids, on the other hand, took out Wausau East 62-15. They beat Merrill 53-20. They beat Wausau West 47-27 and took out Stevens Point 52-24. According to the head coach, this is the first home dual meet of the year for the Evergreens here. They had a weathered-out Stevens Point dual meet, and they're going to make that up in a double duel with Wausau East next week. The Red Raiders finished tough with the Valley Conference, taking on Marshfield. Hamill with an outside leg lace, clears the hand, gets the takedown with the Okie choke. 3 takedown in the lead for the Red Raider. Hamill's got to keep tight lock on that Okie choke and the arm control over the top there. He's got that leg lace in on this near side, and they're going to maybe get out of bounds, and they are. Out of bounds rules have changed this year. If you have not been keeping up with the Red Raiders on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media, out of bounds is any part of any wrestler touching the outside wrestling circle. You are still considered in bounds, whether that's a finger, a toe, part of your hair. It doesn't make a difference. It's all in bounds until you're completely out of bounds. Ellsworth bar by Hamill rolled Nix through one time. No near fall points. Hamill still working with that 3-0 lead with 45 seconds left first period. Hamill run. Oh, excuse me. We got a 4-0 on the scoreboard, and I'm not sure how, but now Nix gets the escape, and they can have it 4-1. Hamill with an ankle pick. Runs him over, steps over the leg, covers him up. He's got the takedown with 20 seconds left. It's now 7-1 Hamill. Hamill lifts into a double. Hip over the top by Nix. Hamill's got a bail. Give up the reversal. 7-3, and Nix with a cradle locked up. And time runs out. Good thing for Hamill there. Hamill's choice, he defers. Nix is going down to start the second period. Hamill on top in the referee's position. Got to thank Mr. Craig Tim giving you mat side seats, as we like to say, volunteering this evening. We really appreciate his help. 1 point escape, Nix. They're on their feet. Nix with a bad shot. Hamill trying to counter. Nix trying to go to a barrel roll. It is 7-4 right now. It's going to be, it's 7-7 now as he awarded the takedown. Hamill, after having a pretty decent lead, has got to fight from tied 7-7. Let the lead get away from him. Hip tip attempt with an Ellsworth bar. Couldn't do anything with that. Hamill's forehead down on him. I got to pick that up. That's a chicken wing there, and the official let it go, and it's still pretty high up there. Hamill reaches back, grabs a head, but loses that. There's potentially dangerous finally on that arm bar, turned up to a chicken wing, which is the hand that's inside the bar, comes up over the shoulder.
That's what Scott's talking about.
And we're going to have a question on scoring here, I do believe. And we're coming back to the center. So the score says 7-7, second period with 15 seconds left. Hamill's got a chance to score if he comes out hard here. Up to his feet. Hamill coming up again. Got to work on hands. There was potentially dangerous. 4 seconds left. I'm not sure why that was potentially dangerous, but it was. Hamill will have his choice coming into the third period. And the referee gives 1 for Hamill for the slam, as Nix just basically almost let him completely go and slammed his head to the mat. So Hamill leads 8-7. Nix will be on top. Hamill's choice is bottom. Hamill now slowly works to his feet, working on hand control, trying to turn and face. Nix comes up with a single, got it elevated. Hamill's got a whizzer, but his leg is completely underneath the body. Hamill's trying to hip in with that whizzer. Hard whizzer toss. Tried by Hamill. Hamill's trying to hip Nix over. And they call a stalemate. 1:13 left. 8-7. Luke Hamill, your Red Raider. Again, this will be a Donnybrook of a dual meet tonight. Hamill slowly works to his feet. Cradle locked up by Nix. Hamill's got to pick some hands apart here, get his head up. Hamill's trying to reach back, catch a leg. Roll through. And the official, I think, counted twice. I think. I'm not sure. Nix has got a grip that Hamill can't break. Hamill's got to figure out a way to get out of here. 24 seconds. Hamill gets the reversal. 2 near fall, 2 reversal. It should be 10-9 Hamill with 10 seconds left. (10-9). Luke Hamill hangs on for the win.
For the 10-9 victory, Luke Hamill of Wisconsin.
3 Red Raider team points. 3-0 the dual meet starts off. And we expect that kind of wrestling all throughout the 14 weight classes. 120-pound matchup coming. And Michael Jelnick scheduled to go for the Evergreens.
At R20 for Wisconsin Rapids, Stephen Armagos. And for DC Everest, Michael Jelnick.
This is Michael Jelnick and Deegan Armagast. See if Jelnick was in the lineup last year, and he was not. Armagast with 2 shots now, got a single, trying to come out the backside with it. A cradle locked by Armagast. Near fall coming. There's a pin. In 42 seconds on the fall. 6 Red Raider team points. Huge extra team points for the Red Raiders. 9-0 the dual meet right now. Next up, scheduled 126-pounders. Landon Freeman has to report first. And we'll see if DC Everest, they're going to forfeit. So that's 6 more Red Raider team points in a dual meet like this. Those are huge free points. 6 more Red Raider team points, 15-0 the dual meet, as we stand through 3 weight classes. Next up, DC Everest has to put their wrestler to the scores table first. They have to report. It's their choice. Says Chris Dunnow, supposedly, and your Red Raiders, Aspen Tritz. Tritz will be active, that's for sure. He's pounding around on the head into a single, trying to come out the backside, steps across that ankle, or is trying to, elevates it up again. Tritz trying to turn inside, which he has done. Basically comes up with a legs ride. And the takedown, 3. Cradled by Tritz. He's got the cradle locked. Got to take your time with this. Now he's got the grip broke and cuts him loose. 3-1. More changes besides the out of bounds this year, as Dunnow took a bad shot. Tritz with a better one, gets the knee. 3 points for every takedown. That's up from the past, I don't know how long since I've been in wrestling. We're old. From the 2 points, I think they used to wrestle on a parking lot someplace when we were in high school. And his 3 points is in line with college wrestling. They award 3 points for a takedown, and it encourages more offensive wrestling. We talked about the out of bounds. Near falls go like this. A 2 count and a near fall is worth 2 points. A 3 count is worth 3 points. A 4 count is worth 4. And if an opponent that's on his back and has already been scored on with a 4-point near fall cries out for an injury or to stop the match, that's a 5-point near fall. Near fall coming with a Turk tip by Aspen Tritz. Going to try and open up a lead. There's 4. It's 10-0 right now. 10-1, excuse me, 10-1. We're up here in what you'd call the treetops. As a matter of fact, the supports for the ceiling are lower than our advantage point, so we have to kind of duck down and look under, and we can barely see the scoreboards, but we can see, like Craig just mentioned, the rafters need a cleaning, that's for sure. There's a lot of dust up here. Tritz on the bottom, start second period. Dunno on top. Tritz will move right off the whistle. Switch attempt. Catches Dunno stretched out, gets the reversal. It's 12-1. Cradle trying to lock him up one more time. Arm bar working on a half. Now just wrist control with the arm bar. Going to run him over. Try to pin him here. Got him settled in. Take your time, settle back here. We can use the extra team point. Got it. Pin in 2:40 for Aspen Tritz.
With a fall, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, Aspen Tritz.
21-0 the dual meet as we stand. Now the dual meet will get really interesting here. Carter Freeman at 138. Ranked number 2 at 132 in the state. Scheduled to go against Josiah Beltrain, who's ranked 10th at 138. Carter Freeman last year's 132-pound state champion.
Carter Freeman from Wisconsin Rapids, Josiah Beltrain, DC Everest.
Beltrain able to get into a single leg. Freeman trying to counter hard. Beltrain with the leg up in the air on Freeman. Freeman with a whizzer and trying to get stretched out. And they're off the mat. You'll see some good wrestling in this match. Freeman with a shot, tried to change direction and go the other way. And Beltrain arm whips him out to the front, back to neutral. Crowd is really quiet. Last week against Stevens Point, there was absolutely no noise in the field house, and DC Everest and Rapids is getting pretty quiet as well. I can't figure out why. Josiah Beltrain not in the lineup last year. Carter Freeman took on Tyler Bojewski, pinned him in 151. Josiah Beltrain, a 9th grader. Carter Freeman, a senior. Warning, stalling Beltrain, snap down, around the corner we go, and they're off the mat behind the official. 13 seconds left. First period, 0-0. Nice low ankle shot. What a dart from a long ways out, around the corner. Beltrain's locked up around the body. Couldn't quite complete the takedown. 0-0 after one. Warning, stalling for Beltrain. A little conversation with the coaching staff. Freeman's choice is going down. Beltrain will try to ride. Freeman clears the hips, turn to face, gets 1 in 3 seconds. That's ready to wrestle on the whistle. Shot in again by Freeman. Far side single. Around the corner he goes. Got it elevated now to the feet. Front trip missed. Beltran tries to get to a whizzer. And Freeman dumps him the opposite way to his back. 3 takedown, 4-0 the lead for the Red Raider. Carter Freeman. You can hear maybe over the microphone and the camera mic the unhappy Everest fans here. Probably a dad, I'm guessing. As they were hollering stalling after Beltran got hit for stalling. But then, as Freeman's getting a takedown, they holler stalling again. And then backing off the mat and backing up, and it's Freeman with a front trip takes Beltran back to his base.
Everest hasn't changed at all. They're not really, we're stalled.
Spiral ride by the Red Raider Freeman.
Eric, you're sitting right up here telling your people.
Roll attempt by Beltran. Arm bar now by Carter Freeman. End of 2 periods, 4-0 the lead for the Red Raider. Beltran's choice, he goes down to start the 3rd period. Freeman will try to turn and ride. Freeman going to put him on his feet, give him a free ride and a free point. Freeman will pick up the pace, turn up, put his foot on the gas pedal, and this match will pick up pace in a hurry. Smart wrestler Freeman is. Underhook by Freeman, snap down. Freeman reaches in for a collar tie, goes underneath. Got stopped this time. Beltran with a front headlock.
That's what it used to be. Just hang there.
Off the mat they work. 1:08 left on their feet. 4-1. Freeman leads. Beltran with a shot in. Freeman with a shuck on by. Missed the leg. Around the corner we go. Into a scramble off the mat. Freeman came up with a single. Freeman standing right in the center of the circle, holding his ground. "20 seconds left. Warning, stalling, Freeman." Everest fans are happy with that call, even though it's not going to make it a bit of difference. 5 seconds. Freeman into a double leg. Around the corner he goes. Takedown, Carter Freeman. 7-1 the victory for the Red Raider. Three Red Raider team points. 24-0 the dual meet. Next up, 144 pounders. This is going to be supposed to be Deacon Trotzer. He's got to report first. And we'll see who comes out from the Red Raiders. Red Raiders going to make a move here. Deacon Trutzer had a report first. That's what the Red Raiders wanted. This is Ashton Rouge, your Red Raider. Going to take on Deacon Trotzer. Trotzer is ranked 9th in the state at 144 pounds. Lateral drop toss. Gets the takedown, 3 for the lead for the Red Raiders. Rouge's job is to stay on the mat as long as he can and hopefully not get pinned. Save a team point that way. Near fall coming for Deacon Trotzer. (7-0) the lead with the near fall points. Hip tip chance again, but Rouge planted his arms and his knees in the mat. Said, not this time. Cradle locked up. Rouge got his knee close to his head. And there is the pin in 107 for Deacon Trotzer.
Deacon Trotzer with a pin in 0.7 seconds.
First points on the board for the Evergreens. 24-6 to dual meet. Halfway point coming up here at 150 pounds. Which we'll see if the Red Raiders make some moves and move all the way up. Take out maybe Aiden Stainbrook or Oakley Pluis. We'll see. This is Jack Ackerman at 150. Taking on Blake Williams. Ackerman in a barrel roll. Couldn't quite complete it. Countered by Williams. A little slide by missed. Ackerman on the offensive. Williams into a single leg. Ackerman's got to fight this. Inside leg trip. Took him back off the mat. Williams could have been in some big trouble there. Ackerman with a Russian arm tie. Elbow and elbow and wrist and elbow control. Walking Williams around a little bit. Now breaks the Russian. Now back to it. Drops down an near side single to a double. Lifts him. Stacked him on his head. In the scramble, somehow Williams has got a leg of Ackerman's. And we still got to complete the scramble. Got to lock up an okey choke here, Jack. Near takedown 3, Ackerman. Now Ackerman on a better cover. Chops an arm down. Got a bar, looking across body with a wrist. Now a half. 35 seconds left. Ackerman runs that double bar over. Williams stacked up on his shoulders. Ackerman trying to settle him down here. Pin for Jack Ackerman in 139. Huge 16 points for the Red Raiders. 30-6 halfway through the dual meet. Another feature matchup potentially. DC Everest has to put their wrestler out first. Scheduled to go would be Carson Kemp, who is ranked 10th at 157. Red Raiders have a ranked wrestler of their own. 7th ranked Mason Tritz.
157 pounds for Wisconsin Rapids, Mason Tritz, and for DC Everest, Carson Kemp.
That is a tall dude.
Tritz and Kempf going at it. Last year, the Red Raiders forfeited to Kemp. That was 6 of the 12 unearned points by DC Everest. Tritz is a guy with the cradles. He will cradle you from anywhere. And he kind of likes, as I had mentioned several times before, that kind of like grub around, roll around on the mat styled stuff. He knows where he's at, and he can feel where he's at, which is a big plus, and he works his way out of some not so good looking situations. Tritz wades into an underhook on the right side. Kemp tries to go underneath. Tritz tried to toss him. Couldn't quite get either one done. Back to neutral. "37 seconds. 0-0 after one period may not be so bad here. Tritz with a couple of feints down low. It was kids' night here at the Evergreen Fieldhouse, DC Everest. Kindergarten through, I think it was 5th grade or 6th grade. I'm not sure which one it was. 5th grade maybe. They had about, maybe 30 kids total. Tossed by Kemp, the attempt. And Tritz went flying right out in front of him. Buzzer sounded, no score. Kemp's choice, he's going down. Tritz's best position on top. Tritz firing that crossface right off the bat. Get to that far side elbow. Kemp trying to fight to stay on a high base. And he almost came out the face, but Tritz tracked him down, kept a hold of one knee. Got to the second one, took him back to the mat. Legs ride. Tritz has got a cradle lock. Kemp's looking to get out of bounds. He's crawling as hard as he can to get out. Tritz can't stretch long enough. And we have some blood time on somebody. I'm not sure which one, but we got some blood time. And I think it's on the Evergreens. Once again, the Valley Conference, Wisconsin Rapids and Marshfield on top at 4-0. DC Everest sits in third place with a 2-1 record. Wausau West in third, 2-3, fourth. Maryland 5th, 1-3, along with Stevens Point, 1-3. Wausau East on the bottom, 0-4. Next week's dual meets, Marshfield at Wisconsin Rapids. Hopefully for the Valley Conference dual meet title. Wausau West takes on Merrill at Merrill. And then at DC Everest, a weather makeup, Stevens Point against the Evergreens, and then follow that with Wausau East against the Evergreens. The Valley Conference tournament is in Wausau East starting at 10 a.m. on Saturday, February 8th. And now Carson Kemp is cleaned up. Kemp able to get away from Tritz. It's the 1-point escape. Be nice for Tritz to somehow complete a takedown here. Get the lead back before he has his choice to start the third period. Couple of feints by Tritz. Kemp still standing there. Elbow control by Kemp. Underhook by Tritz on the right side. Now trying to get to a double underhook. Kemp control the other side wrist. Tritz pulled him in, shot back, missed the leg. Near side single by Tritz. Bringing it in, trying to get up to the body. Picks an ankle, trying to drag his toes. Tritz turns him back towards the center, takes him over the top, trying to drag a foot, and they're just out of bounds at the buzzer. 2 periods gone. Kemp leads 1-0. Tritz's choice. They're going down. Tritz looking for a reversal early. And then if it gets down to probably the last 30 seconds and he's still on the bottom with a 1-0 score, he's going to look to get the escape. Tie the match. Kemp with a tight waist. Tritz working on hand control. The ref, I'm not sure what he's giving here. He counted at least 1.5 and then shook his head no, flipped his hand back and forth, meaning he's going to wave it off, and we got a scramble, and there's a stalemate. The regional tournament is February 15th. And that's held in Wisconsin Rapids, starts at 10 a.m. on a Saturday. Team sectionals in Stevens Point starting at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, February 18th. The individual sectionals in Menasha. And we get a little quick cleanup on Kemp again. 42 109 left yet. And it's still 1-0 Kemp. And he's not been able to do a thing with Tritz from the top, just hanging out with a tight waist. Tritz is trying to get out from the bottom. Again, this is kind of his style to match. Kemp looking to maybe get to a spladle. But Tritz has got a leg. Now Tritz trying to come and face him. He's still got that leg. Sets him backwards.
Get out, get out, get out. Hold on. There you go. There you go.
Tritz trying to hip into him with 23 seconds. Kemp just hanging on and done nothing this entire match. And we got a stalemate one more time. 10.7 seconds left. Now Tritz has got to fly to get the escape. First move of Tritz gets stopped to a high base. Tritz reaching back. End of the match is here. 1-0 Carson Kemp with a victory over Mason Tritz. And I'm sure Tritz not happy with that performance. 3 points for the Evergreens. It's now 30-9, the dual meet. And now is where DC Everest could put some points on the board. Jeremiah Peters at 165 for the Red Raiders against Gavin Madsen. Pretty physical looking 165-pounder for the Evergreens. Madsen is a senior. Yes, Madsen is a senior. He's looking to throw. Lock him up, Jeremiah. Well, he came out of a scramble with a takedown, and there was a second slam of the night. As Gavin Matson had him elevated and slammed him down to the mat. And that's 1 point for Peters. And now the DC Everest coach is over, trying to get an explanation of why he called the slam. It's the responsibility of the wrestler, the offensive wrestler that has his opponent up off the mat, to take him back to the mat in a controlled manner. 3-1, Madsen with the lead. He will be on top riding Jeremiah Peters, your Red Raider. Again, you got probably some high school frustration. Legs right on the left side, crossbody power half. Roosh trying to get stomach down. Near fall coming. Peters trying to get his arm out, which he has done. Good job for near fall. And now 7-1. Half again. Going to run Jeremiah Peters over. And has him over pretty tight here. Madsen trying to get some pressure down across this near side shoulder. Scoops the head, reloads. There is the pin, and 140.
We're pinning 40 seconds.
16 points for the Evergreens. It's now 30-15. The Red Raiders lead. The 175-pound match coming up. Oakley Pluis going to take on a tough opponent, 7th-ranked Blake Benston. Red Raiders are going to have two hammers coming up. They got Kyler Tritz and Tanner Gormanson at 215, 285. You have to look for big points out of them. Blake Bengston ranked number 7th in the state at 175. Oakley Pluis, freshman for the Red Raiders. Pluis's job the same. Try not to get pinned. Arm drag to an Okie choke for the takedown and a 3-point lead for Bengston. They're going to cut him loose, go to work on his feet. 3-1. Gets Pluis coming in to a double. Bengston takes him down. Now 6-1. Again, inexperienced Oakley Pluis doing his best on the mat for the Red Raiders. 6-2 now. Arm snatch, or leg snatch, I should say. And Pluis going to give up the takedown. It's now 9-2. Hip tip coming, rolls him over suicide style, takes him to his back. Pluis gets off his back, good job. 3 near fall, it's now 12-2 with 30 seconds left. Cradle locked up by Bengston. As Pluis in a lot of trouble here. Ref trying to see both shoulders. And Pluis ends up coming off his back for a near fall. 16-2 right now with 3 seconds left.
That was as flat as I've seen.
Blues survives the first period, trailing 16-2. Bengston's choice, he's taking his choice of going on top. Again, Plouse's job not to get pinned. He's got to fight off his back here. One more time and not allow Bengston to pin him. Then he saves the Red Raiders a team point. Warning, stalling, Plouse. I'm not sure why you'd warn the guy that's just getting worked over. Armbar getting worked on by Bengston. Now Plouse. Warning, stalling, 1 point. Second one, that's 17-2. That's a tech fault. That helps the Red Raiders. Saved the team point for the Red Raiders. 5 team points for the Evergreens. It's 30-20. Aiden Steinbrook scheduled to go against Nico Kleinschmidt, another ranked wrestler. 11th for the Evergreens at 190. So it could be 30-26 by the time this match goes. Takedown 3 for Kleinschmidt. Last year, the Red Raiders put Mark Jeske against Nico Kleinschmidt. Jeske beat him 11-6. That was last year, though. Aiden Steinbrook, very young, inexperienced wrestler. Double arm bar and a pin in 29 seconds. 6 more team points. It's now 30-26. Kyler Tritz against Aiden Zhang, scheduled to go at 2:15. Zhang got a report first. Then you got the number 2 ranked heavyweight in the state, Tanner Gormanson, against James DeBuer. Kyler Tritz ranked 8th at 2:15. Underhook, slide by to an ankle pick, takedown, Tritz. Nice combination there for the Red Raider. See what Tritz decides to do here, if he's going to take him down a couple times, build a lead, or he's going to go for the pin. Red Raiders counting on a couple of their hammers here at the end of the lineup. Then you got 106-pounder Jackson Freeman against Riker Ryan at 106 pounds. They're going to put him back on his feet. 3-1 the lead for Tritz, the Red Raider. Underhook, tried to get a little inside leg trip. Arm drag, spins him to the corner. Around he goes, takes him down.
Oh, nice.
Tritz catches a half, but Zhang able to roll through. Armbar by Tritz on this near side. Got a baseball across the back. Looking to lock up the Farmer. Reaching across, body's got a lock, scoops the head, around the corner we go. You don't come off your back from this one. Tritz picking the head up, arching the back. Pin. And 129.
With a pin, a minute 29 seconds.
And that quieted the DC Everest crowd. Next up, your other big hammer, Tanner Gormanson at 285, number 2 ranked heavyweight in the state. Going to take on James DeBuer. James DeBuer wrestled Grayson Reimer last year at 215. Reimer tech-falled him 22-7.
And at 285, Tanner Gormanson from Wisconsin Rapids and James DeBuer, 27.
This is the one you need to put DC Everest on their bench. DeBuer comes in with his elbows wide. Gormanson catches him double underhooks, snatches him down, going to go maybe around the corner here, picking his right side ankle, runs him over with elbow control, take down Gormanson. Gormanson, the real deal at heavyweight. From a guy in his freshman, sophomore year that would get flopped around the mat and just look not very good to this is an amazing feat for him. He's really become a good wrestler. Got the elbow control, runs him over the shoulders. Near fall coming. This could be good night, and it is. 1 minute even on the fall. And that locks up the dual meet 42-26 right now. Gormanson puts the Red Raiders stamp of approval on this dual meet. And we got the 106-pounders, Jackson Freeman against Riker Ryan coming up. Ryan not in the lineup last year. Freeman almost got to the knee, but couldn't quite get his hands free. Now he just, a little short drag on by around the corner. Covers him up, legs right, takedown.
Oh, we turned right into his back. Turned right into his back. There you go.
Arm bar with wrist tied up. Freeman trying to step over the head, getting a little bit in a hurry. 2 near fall for Freeman. He's ahead 5-0. Got the bars again. Double bar this time. Steps it over. Now you sit out like that. That's a lot of pressure on the shoulders. Jackson Freeman with a pin in 58 seconds.
Pin, 58 seconds for Jackson Freeman. Makes our final team
48-26 the dual meet. And it looked like this. Luke Hamill at 113 started off with a hard-fought 10-9 win over Jaden Nix. At 120, Deegan Armagas got a pin in 42 seconds over Michael Jelnick. At 126, Landon Freeman won by forfeit. At 132, Aspen Tritz got a pin in 240 over Chris Dunnow. At 138, Carter Freeman got a 7-1 win over Josiah Beltran. And at 144, Deacon Trotzer, DC Everest, got a 1 minute 7-second pin over Ashton Rouge. At 150, Jack Ackerman comes back for the Red Raiders, a pin in 139 over Blake Williams. Mason Tritz on the short end of a 1-0 loss to Carson Kemp to DC Everest. Then Gavin Madsen puts a pin on Jeremiah Peterson 140. Blake Bangston a tech fall 70-2 over Oakley Pluis. And Nico Kleinschmidt a pin in 29 seconds over Aiden Stainbrook, 30-26 at that point. And the Red Raiders end in a flurry of pins. 215, Kyler Tritz, a 129-second pin over Aiden Zhang. Tanner Gormanson, your 285-pounder, a minute even on his pin over James DeBuer. And Jackson Freeman at 106, who you just watched, a 58-second pin over Riker Ryan. Next up for the Red Raiders, in the Valley Conference, they take Marshfield for what is probably going to be the championship of the dual meet season. And that'll be at the Lincoln High School Fieldhouse. Make sure you make plans to come and watch that, support the Red Raiders. We'll take a quick break. Hopefully Scott will come on up and give us his input on tonight's meet. Once again, got to thank Craig Tim for his giving you mat side seats. My name is Scott Tesh. We'll bring you more Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. Back now at DC Everest Fieldhouse. Congratulations, Scott, on another Valley Conference win. Should put you in the dual meet with Marshfield next week at our place for the Valley Conference dual meet title.
Yeah, we should both be 5-0, and I think it's a pretty even dual meet, and we're excited. Hopefully we're healthy and come out of there with a win and get our another step towards winning that conference title.
Start off at 113 with the little guy Luke Hamill. 10-9 win, up and down match there. He got a lead and then somehow got back to him and got tied, and then it was 10-9 and he needed to gut that one out.
Yeah, Luke's not feeling real good. You probably saw that. He didn't have a lot of energy tonight. He was pretty sick. Kind of feels like me for the last 2 weeks. And what Luke is tough. That's a huge compliment, because that was nothing more than just grit that he was able to win that match, because a lot of guys would have probably not walked out on the mat. A lot of guys would have not wrestled that hard. And Luke gave every bit that he had. We knew he had to win that match. It was that was kind of a key match in this duel, the way that it was looking on paper. And he got us off to a great start.
Deegan Armagas at 120 comes back and starts putting the Red Raiders on the board with some pins, 42-second fall over Michael Jelinek.
Yeah, we're a pinning team. Yeah. We get a lot of them, and we knew tonight that we could split 7-7 in matches if things didn't go well. Luke obviously got us at when we thought would be number 8, and then we knew we had to get at least 6 pins, and Deegan was the first one to get one, and he wrestled a pretty darn good match.
126-pounder Landon Freeman, he gets a forfeit. They didn't have anybody there, which is kind of surprising in a tough dual meet like this. Yeah. And then Aspen Tritz at 132 comes out, gets a pin over Chris Dano.
Yeah, really excited to have Aspen back, and he's a pinner, and he's exciting to watch wrestle. Been out for a few weeks now, and we needed a pin there, and he was wrestling really well and wrestled himself into a pin, and again, it's just exactly what we needed in this duel, and we were getting them. So,
Carter Freeman at 138 against probably one of the featured matchups of tonight against Josiah Beltran, both ranked wrestlers, and Freeman just in control the entire match, 7-1.
Yeah, it was a workmanlike decision. We had kind of maybe hoped we get one more takedown in there to catch another team point, but Carter wrestled a control match, and we didn't do anything where we got in any trouble, and just kind of controlled the pace and won that fairly easily. So,
144 pounds, you put in Ashton Roosh against Deacon Trotzer, one of their best wrestlers, and Trotzer gets a pin at 107.
Yeah, we're trying to nurse Aiden Armagas back into the lineup, and he's going to go tomorrow night. And Ashton's just a tough kid. He gives us everything he has, and we made that choice to move Jack then up to 50 to get a more favorable matchup for us, and stuck Ashton out there. Usually doesn't get pinned. Trotzer's awful good, and I caught him in a pretty tight cradle, and Ashton gave us what he had, and we ended up getting caught, but he did did the best he could.
Right. Come back with 150-pounder Jack Ackerman, gets a pin in 139 over Blake Williams, and that kind of stopped a little bit of momentum that DC Everest thought they were getting and put extra team points on the board.
Yeah, they were missing a guy in there. We didn't know that he wasn't going to wrestle, and we were trying to get up onto their 50-pounder anyway. Jack's small, but he's a good wrestler. We were trying to get all of our best wrestlers in the lineup, and I thought Jack wrestled really well. Did some nice technique and wrestled hard and got that pin, and that kind of iced the duel for us right there.
One guy I know that wants a match back is Mason Tritz at 157. Hard-fought match against Carson Kemp, and another feature matchup, a couple of ranked kids of the state. Kemp comes out 1-0, and I bet you Mason Tritz comes back with a vengeance.
Yeah, that was a tough match. We almost caught him in a cradle. We almost took him down. but we didn't score any points, and he scored the 1 point that was scored, and we were probably the closest to scoring points of the ones that weren't scored.
He wasn't doing much. He was just hanging out in the match.
So we're going to see him probably 3 more times. We're going to have to beat him to get down to the state tournament. So we didn't need that one tonight, and this would be, if we're going to lose one, this would be the one to lose.
165-pounder Jeremiah Peters gets put out against Gavin Madsen, and Madsen gets a pin in 140.
Yeah, one of their seniors. He's been on, in their lineup for 4 years, and Jeremiah is up and down. Russell's a pretty good period, and then just kind of got hung up in there, and it was pretty tight when he got pinned. But, he's improving every time out, and we're hopefully going to get him, into that regional, get some wins in the regional, and score some team points.
175-pounder Oakley Pluis, a freshman, up at that weight against another one of the Evergreens-ranked wrestlers, Blake Benston. Got beat 17-2.
Yeah, we were undermanned in that one. And
but he saved a team point.
He saved a team point. He wrestles hard, did exactly what we need to do in a tough duel.
Right.
We got a couple of these coming up. If he can do that in another duel, we might win a duel by 1 point. That's the kind of effort we need to win that duel. So he did a nice job.
And that's been the Red Raiders' kind of montage for a long time. You save every team point you can, and you score the extra ones when you can.
Yeah, every match is worth 6 points, and if you only get a decision, and the other team, save themselves 3 points. And tonight they got 5, but they didn't get 6, so we actually picked up a point. So yeah, we kind of try to win a math game, and we got a kind of team where we've got some spots where we can get big points and some spots where we need favorable matchups to get wins. And going to be a little up and down at times when we're in duels, but, Oakley did his job tonight, and we're going to need that a couple more times from him.
190-pounder Aiden Stainbrook in the lineup tonight against another very good DC Everest wrestler, Nico Kleinschmidt, goes down to the pin in 29 seconds.
Yeah, first-year wrestler against a pretty darn good sophomore. And I know he's frustrated that he got pinned, but we're not really technical yet, and the kid hit him with some technique he wasn't ready for, and that's how things go. Wrestlers drill and train for a long time to learn moves, so that works on people that don't know what's coming. So, yeah.
Kyler Tritz comes up at 215. Good to see him back in the lineup. Gets a pin in 129. That pretty much iced the duel meet right there.
Yeah, we got Kai back wrestling well, and we knew we were going to pick up points here at the tail end of this meet, so we were in pretty good shape. And glad to have him back, and ready to see him go tomorrow night.
And you got the big hammer at 285, Tanner Gormanson against James DeBure. Only took a minute. Gormanson showed his dominance.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 2 ranked guy in the state, and he's that for a reason. He's been pretty steady for us all year, and same thing with him. I'm excited to see him go tomorrow night against the number 1 ranked guy in the state.
Right.
We're going to find out if we can be number 1 ranked after tomorrow. So.
Jackson Freeman ends the duel beat at 106 with a pin in 58 seconds over Riker Ryan.
Yeah, I actually wrestled a nice match. Had a nice little takedown there, and then I got on top. He's pretty tough on top, and starting to grow, getting to be a full-size 6-pounder. And, he goes hard. He goes a little too hard.
Sometimes a little bit too fast.
Yeah, a little bit too fast, but for the most part, he's wrestling really well for us right now.
Coach, you go to Mequon Homestead tomorrow night. Unfortunately, we won't be able to cover that for you, but again, a tough tournament with a lot of good kids there.
Yeah, individually it's 33 teams now, and it used to be 24, and just a lot of number 1, 2, top 5 ranked guys in the state, and just going to be a battle. We're excited to go down there. Our seniors need these kind of matches to get ready for the postseason. Our guys that have been struggling a little bit probably get dumped early in that tournament, but it's a scramble format, so they'll come back and hopefully get a couple wins on the backside, and can kind of walk out of there with a couple wins. So yeah, we're excited. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow. We got a bus ride tonight, and then we go to 2 hours of school tomorrow, and I don't know that we'll be home before 3 a.m. on
Could be late.
Saturday morning. So, but we got a nice bus ride, so it'll be nice.
Nice, comfortable school bus, huh?
We're actually in the coach bus.
Got a
so.
coach? Oh, at least you
Yeah.
can recline a little.
A little bit, maybe watch a movie, maybe sleep. I don't know. We'll see.
Coach, thank you very much. Congratulations on another Valley Conference win. We'll bring you more Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling right here on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media.